I'd like to give all glory and praises and honor unto the Most High. And, one thing I come to notice is that, the masses, the majority of people are living a lie, a life of lies, a life of falsehood. So, when people like us come around, it bothers them. It bothers their spirit. You know what I mean? The majority of people, they're asleep, you know? And it's the same thing that was happening in biblical times. Whenever the prophets came around, they didn't like when the prophets came around because the prophets spoke truth. You know what I mean? Because a lot of these people, they were in slumber. I mean, they were living a life of lies, a life of falsehood, and if not that, they were asleep. So whenever these certain people came around, and they started speaking, or whenever they came around in your presence, it reminded them that they were living a lie. You know what I mean? Everything that they taught you or they've been telling you was a lie, and they hate that because they want to go back to living that lie. They want to go back into that fantasy, They want to go back into that life of lies, a life of falsehood, So, what I mean? Their job now is either to bring you in or to get you out. I mean, so if you're a man or a person, I should just say, that has a strong foundation, and you won't hearken on to that way of living, that lifestyle, they're gonna try to get you out, So that's what it is. They want you going so they can continue to live their life of falsehood, because we're reminded what reality is, and reality always sets in. And I'm laughing now because it's funny now. And what this shows me is that, money is the root of all evil, man. Can you imagine, you figured everything out, and they got to go back, and all they got to say is keep telling him that he's crazy. Keep telling him that keep telling him that nothing's going on. Keep telling him that he's crazy. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine looking at somebody like that in the face? When you figure it out, and they know in the back of their head, they know that you're right. They know that you're right. Keep telling them he's crazy. Keep telling him he's crazy. Oh my God, he's figuring it out. They going back into their group discussions. He's figuring it out. She's figuring it out. Can you imagine that? Keep telling them that he's crazy. Keep telling them that none of this is happening. How pitiful, man. When in reality, the blessings is on this side, but you can't see it. So we're gonna get into these scriptures now, man. And this year, 2021, a lot more people is gonna fall that came up against you, man. I beheld Satan fell like lightning. It's gonna be a horrible year, man. Those that came up against you and they laughed. They was happy to see you fall. Those that was close to you that deceived you. Because they wanted to fit in with the crowd. I beheld Satan fell like lightning, man. And this year, you're going to see a lot of them fall. And the thing about this thing I think is funny is that, man, they did so much. They're doing so much wickedness, man. They're investing so much money. Can you imagine? Somebody investing so much money to see a destruction. And then while you going through all this turmoil every day, you seeing them getting locked up. You seeing them fall. You seeing other people that was harassing you. You seeing the misery on their face. The scriptures speak of that, man. I beheld Satan fell like lightning. 2021, a lot more people they're gonna fall, man. I'm telling you. Because they fell before. I've seen them fall before. And now the devil came and whispered into your ear. And they're gonna fall again, man. I beheld Satan fell like lightning, man. Let's get into these scriptures, man. Ecclesiasticus chapter 26, verse 5. There be three things that my heart feareth, and for the fourth I was sore afraid. The slander of a city, the gathering together of an unruly multitude, and a false accusation. All these things are worse than death. So this is something that's going on right now, man. The slander of a city, man. The gathering together of unruly people, of a unruly multitude to do all manner of wickedness and false accusations, man. And I did a video on this before talking about Sodom and Gomorrah, and why it was destroyed. And I talked about, the reason why it was destroyed, it was not only about homosexuality, was because they were doing things like it states in the scripture right here in Ecclesiastes 26:25, man. The people were coming together and targeting certain people, starving them to death, playing games with them. It was all a joke. And they had the resources to take care of these people. To do right by them, but they all came together, man. Crafty counsel, to do wickedness onto these people, and that's one of the reasons that the Most High destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, man. So let's keep going. Psalms 101:5. Whoso privily slandereth his neighbor, him will I cut off. Him that hath an high look and a proud heart I will not suffer. What does that mean? Whoso privily slandereth his neighbor, him will I cut off. Let's look at this. Like this picture right here, man. And the bush is looking, creeping. Ask you where you going. Thinking that you don't know what you don't know what's going on already. Where you going? What you doing? So they can report back to the powers that be and their handlers. Yeah, and I find it funny, man, that there's so much stuff going on in the world that you could be pissed off about, but somebody come in your ear and tells you, oh yeah, let's come together to take him down, him or her down, and you sign up for it. Listen to what he said. Look at what he said. That pissed you off, right? Was it the truth? Yeah, there's so much going on in the world that you could be pissed off about. But you see, like I said, these people are in slumber, It's so much going on. They don't care about that. But somebody could come and say, yeah, look, be mad at that person right there. Be mad at him. So much corruption going on. That don't piss you off. You ain't mad about that. But you could come together, they could come together to target somebody that's, doing the right thing. Because they want to stay in that slumber. They want to stay in that false reality. Like I said, when people like us come around and we speak in truth, it reminds them, like, look, man, everything is a lie. But I'm comfortable with the lies. I want to stay in the lies. So we got to get rid of this guy, man. Let's slander him. secretly slander him or her. You mean? But the Most High said you're going to be cut off for that. Yeah. Zechariah chapter 8, 16-17. These are the things that ye shall do. Speak ye every man the truth to his neighbor. Execute the judgment of truth and peace in your gates, man. Speak ye every man the truth to his neighbor. Execute the judgment of truth and peace in your gates. And let none of you imagine evil in your hearts against his neighbor. And love no false oath. For all these things that I hate, that said the Lord, man. Love no false oath, man. You took that oath, man. You entered into secret covenants, man. You mean to do all manner of wickedness? Why? Because you didn't want to face. You didn't want to face. The penalties for what you did. You didn't want to man up. So you mean when you enter into these Freemasonry oaths, these secret oaths, they protect you. You know what I mean? And they build you up. But when somebody that comes around that speaks truth, like I said, it shatters that reality. It reminds you that I'm living a lie. Else you wouldn't have to come around here and follow us around. And do all manner of wickedness. But the Most High said He hates that. And you've taken bribes, man. To do all manner of wickedness. But let's check this verse out. Proverbs 15:27. He who is greedy for gain troubles his own house, but he who hates bribes will live. Oh man, I beheld Satan fell like lightning, man. I beheld Satan fell like lightning. Greedy for gain. All you did was bring trouble onto your own house. He who is greedy for gain troubles his own house. But he who hates bribes will live, man. The scripture says, there's another scripture that says, a man who is hasty, to be rich shall not be innocent, man. You want this money so bad. You want to get you want to get that reward so bad. Your hands are not going to be innocent, man. You know what I mean? He who is hasty to be rich shall not be innocent. You brought trouble upon your own house because he was greedy for gain, man. Oh, man, I beheld Satan fell like lightning, man. 2021, you're going to see it, man. Oh, man. Proverbs 11:31. Behold, the righteous shall be recompensed in the earth. Much more the wicked and the sinner, man. We're going to be recompensed, man. It says much more the wicked and the sinner. You're not going to escape. Like I said, I didn't say it. The Most High said it. Don't get mad at me. I'm just reading the scriptures, man. Oh, man. So, yeah, man. This is it. This is it, man. They're not supposed to like you, man. You know what I mean? They're not supposed to agree with you. They're not supposed to agree with the things you say, man. They're supposed to see contrary to you, Why? Because you have the light. You're operating in the light. The scripture says, darkness hates the light. The light contends with the dark. They're not supposed to agree with it, man. Because they want to continue to live in that false reality, man. Oh, my goodness, man. Oh, man. It don't matter if they like you. Because the Messiah was a perfect example of a blameless man. And they despise him too. So they're supposed to despise you when they see you out here. That's scripture, man. That's embedded in scripture. Why? Because you're not in the bar, going to the bar every week, every day, drinking up a storm, man. You're not sitting around playing video games all day. Before all this happened, You were working. You had a job. You were doing this, that, and the third. You know what I mean? For those of you that, that were doing your thing before this happened. But you operated in the truth, and you didn't let people, deceive you. You didn't take no secret oaths. I mean, you wasn't easily manipulated, man. They send agents, to put you under, to deceive you, and you thwarted their plans. They hate you for that, man. They hated you for it. And it's not you. You see, they still think that they fighting against you. You're not fighting against me. You fighting against the Most High. You coming up against the Most High when you come up against us, man. That's something you fail to realize, man. And we're gonna be recompensed, man. And one thing I've noticed, it's not about man. It's about the Most High, man. They have no say so in anything. It's about the Most High and what He says. Ecclesiasticus chapter 27:29. They that rejoice at the fall of the righteous shall be taken in the snare, and anguish shall consume them before they die. It shall be taken in the snare, man. So the same, the same traps that they set up for you, man. The same traps that they set up for you to fall in. For you to be devoured in. They're gonna be taken in the same things that they set up for you. And that reminds me of the book of Esther. When Haman set up, to do all manner of wickedness to the Israelites, but the Most High was fighting for them. And he used Esther as his vessel on the earth, to go before the kings on behalf of them, and Haman ended up being condemned. And the same things, the same gallows that he set up, to destroy them, he ended up, and his family, being put to the gallows because he devised all manner of wickedness against them, man. Haman was happy that he was about to get them, but the Most High said, "No, I got the final say so. They that rejoice at the fall of the righteous shall be taken in the snare, and anguish shall consume them before they die." Haman was, I bet you, Haman wasn't in anguish before he died. Oh man, one moment he was happy to see them fall. He thought it was gonna happen, and the next minute, anguish. Oh man. I beheld Satan fell like lightning, man. This year, man. That you came up against me? The Most High is gonna start fighting, man. Even more this year. You know what I mean? I'm gonna end with a couple more verses, man. Proverbs 12:19. The lip of truth shall be established forever, but a lying tongue is but for a moment, man. What we say right now is going to be established forever, but a lying tongue is for a short moment, for a season. You enjoyed the season. You enjoyed the pleasures of the season, man. When we were deceived, he was happy. He snickering. Ha ha ha. He don't know. But the Most High says that the elect, man. I'm not calling myself the elect. I'm not calling myself one, but he says, if it were possible, they shall deceive him. If it were possible, so it lasted for a moment. A short moment, and then you see tribulation come. A standard got lifted up against you, man. The lip of truth shall be established forever, but a lying tongue is but for a moment, man. I beheld Satan fell like lightning, man. Satan is gonna fall like lightning. Oh, man. Zechariah chapter 8:3. Thus said the Lord, I am returned unto Zion, and will dwell in the midst of Jerusalem, and Jerusalem shall be called a city of truth, and a mountain of the Lord of the hosts of the holy mountain, man. I had to put this in last, man. And I said, keep loving the lies of this world, and think you're gonna make it in. You and these Freemasonry groups. you know, spreading lies, and they lying to you, and you lying to them, and you deceiving that person, and you deceiving this person. It says Jerusalem shall be called a city of truth. That's the foundation. You know what I mean? Truth shall be, the lip of truth shall be established forever. But a lying tongue is but for a moment, man. Right here, you see it, man. The end game, the truth is gonna be established. You know what I mean? But a lying tongue is for a moment, man. One thing about this walk is not gonna be easy, man. You know what I mean? When the Most High tests you, you know what I mean? It's not gonna be easy, man. A lot of people think that there's gonna be some walk in the park. It's not gonna be easy, man. You know? That's why the scripture says, if you faint in the day of adversity, your strength is small. You know what I mean? A lot of people gonna faint, man. I beheld Satan fell like lightning, man. They out here trying to get you locked up intentionally. I mean, you know, committed to mental institutions, man. You know, doing all manner of wickedness. Yeah. But I beheld Satan fell like lightning. You want that reward, huh? You want the reward, huh? That they promised you. You want to be esteemed by men, right? All you did was bring trouble upon your own house, man. You know, I didn't break the law. I'm still doing what I've been doing. You mean I'm not nothing about my behavior changed. You mean? Stay to myself. Talk on my phone. You know what I mean? That's it. Mind my business. Still doing the same thing. I beheld Satan fell like lightning, man. All praises to the Most High, man. Hopefully this is edifying.